May I have your attention, please?
I think this is a good idea.
Dreams without goals.
People are getting fed up with corporate America.
I want you to get up. Stand up. Fight back.
Ask what you can do for your country.
Don't call it a comeback.
Tampa, St. Pete, Lakeland, Sarasota, what is going on? Welcome to the Corner Launch. This is a show we made for you guys, for the community. It's about all things artist, activist, entrepreneur, activities, small business. You got an idea, you're doing something, give us a shout. The phone number here is 813-239-9663. Again, that's 813-239-9663. You can also email us at dj@wmnf.org. And I want to say that I think it's safe to assume we have the number one show in Tampa, possibly the only show, but the number one show when it comes to these types of topics. So I am joined today by Mr. Wesley Barris, a.k.a. the King of Bing. Wesley, how you doing?
Howdy, y'all.
To the left of me, I have the fabulous Gina Marie.
Hey.
Gina's working on the Warehouse Arts District out in St. Pete and doing a fabulous job.
Well, thank you.
And we also are joined by my man, Derby Perez, a.k.a. Crash Derby, a.k.a. Derby Lane, a.k.a.
Upsell.
a.k.a. the Upsell King. Okay.
That's right.
So let's get this going. If anybody has seen my boy, Dylan Clements, a.k.a. Boy Wonder.
He's MIA.
He is not here. He was posting about the show last night at about 3:30 a.m., When I saw that, I had a feeling we wouldn't catch him. Dylan, you better get over here, buddy.
Sounds like there's a seat open.
It sounds like it. Gina, let's start off. Just give us a quick update. I'm going to go through some of these emails here real quick. Give us a quick update on what's going on with the Warehouse Arts District.
Really exciting. So we had the Deuces Live Warehouse Arts District Joint Action Design Plan Workshop, which we had a great response. It was 4 days long and accumulated a lot of information about the infrastructure and walkability of the area from the community. And at the last day, it was condensed, and the information the consulting team presented some of their findings, which can be found online as well. It was really, really exciting. We start to see motion and momentum now, and let's see what happens.
What's that website, Gina, that we can go to find
You
that?
can come to me. You can give me a call, and I'll give you the direct website, which is, if you want to give me a call.
Yeah, what's your number, Gina?
727-902-1252. And I'll give you the link.
Awesome. That sounds great. So again, just to recap. Gina has no problem tossing her phone number out there.
Very elegant with that stuff. I really dig that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, just to recap, everybody, this is a show. If you are a small business person, if you're an activist, if you're an artist, if you're an organizer, if you have an idea, if you are stuck and you want to do something different, this is why we put this show together. I want you to call, and I want you to just call and talk about it. I want to hear what it is you're trying to do. If you're already doing something, you got a friend that's already done something, call in. That phone number is 813-239-9663, or you can email us, dj@wmnf.org. Okay, I believe we've got a caller already, if that's the case. Cool. Jennifer, what's going on?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, Jen.
Hello.
I'm over here in Jacksonville holding down the other side of the state.
That's fantastic. So what's on your mind there, Jennifer?
Not much. No, just kidding.
Not much.
It's been great talking to you. I gotta go. Wow, there's a lot, so I always try and keep it short and sweet. But I am an internet marketer of 15 years and had a nasty near-death accident about 3.5 years ago on the wonderful highways of Florida. Had a motorcycle crash, so
Oh, wow.
I was taken right out of the business and had to restart. And restarted about a year ago, about 14 months ago, and have been really kicking butt with some great people that I've networked with, and using some of the latest technology on the internet for marketing, sales funnels, which I'm sure you guys know about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything we can speak to.
So
on
what?
that.
So let me ask you this then. What is there? What if you're doing a ton of online marketing? You're obviously doing a ton of social media marketing. What is the main platform that you're rolling with these days? What are you getting the best results with? And I know that everybody. Well, I use all of them, but what is for what you're doing? What's your best platform?
Yeah, my answer is going to be, as far as social media, is going to be Facebook. And of course, when you say you got to do all of them or you want to be involved in all of them. I always encourage new entrepreneurs to not get overwhelmed. Don't do all at once.
I agree with that 110%.
100% correct. And
Yeah,
I want to
so
and
one
I
thing.
just want to cut you off there and interject. There's so many social media platforms. I see this all the time. People get overwhelmed. You really just need to
Yeah.
focus on the top 2, maybe 3 if you have time.
Right, and I like when I mentor new virtual assistants, I say, let's just start with Facebook, and let's even just start with one group. If you go in one group and make those relationships, you'll be amazed. 10 out of 10 clients come from one group.
So Jennifer, you're talking about Facebook groups. For people that don't know that are listening, basically what you're talking about is creating either a private or public group on Facebook, and people come in and they join, and it kind of gives you a closed circuit in order to discuss with like-minded people and kind of build your audience and get some synergy and stuff like going on. What is, you probably have more experience with this than I do, to be honest with you. What is the one thing that you would tell to people that are trying to do that? What is the one thing when they're trying to build a group that you would highly suggest they do and or do not do?
Right, and I'm glad we're talking about building a group, because the magic on the internet is building your tribe in a social media group and in your email.
I'm all about rolling with a crew.
If you don't start with that, you're never going to have anyone to sell to, and you're going to be struggling. So absolutely start there. And if you're starting your own group, just provide a ton of value. Do not be salesy. Do not start a group and say, come here and buy my stuff. You want to say, this is everything I have in my brain. These are the resources I have. These are the people that can help you. And if you are helping others, hundreds of others, thousands of others, the money will come naturally. You won't even have to sell people.
Absolutely. I want to add one thing here. Another mistake that people make is they make their groups too broad. What you want to do is niche it down as much as you can. For instance, you could start a group on internet marketing.
Don't niche it too much.
Exactly.
Niche yourself right out of the marketplace.
Yeah. You got to find
it's
that.
a group on short-haired, dark-colored poodles.
Yeah, I know.
I can't understand why I only got 7 people in this group.
Called salon owners in Florida. The more you niche it down, the better your response is going to be. But not too much to where you have just 5 people in your group.
Niches. Exactly. So some people do really well with, marketing for chiropractors in Florida.
Or dentists.
Other people that are bigger, like Dan Meredith, do well. But that's once you've become a big name, you can have your general group.
Jennifer, what do you want to do with your group? How are you generating income? Because the most important thing is, your funnels generating income. So what are you doing right now so you could get back on top?
Jennifer's a good caller. Jennifer, why aren't you sitting in here with us, huh? It's a Jennifer show.
As guest speaker.
And I want to be fully transparent, because I restarted from food stamps last year, and now I have a 6-figure business. So I want to share that story. I don't have a flowing group right now because I don't want to launch everything at once. It's coming. It's on the docket for March. I go into other people's groups and I make the relationships and I offer value to them, and I ask them, does your audience want me to go Facebook Live and provide some information? I never self-promote. I hate self-promoting, even if I'm
and that's a delicate balance too, to kind of juggle that. Jennifer, I appreciate you calling in for sure. Make sure you shoot us an email, okay,
Absolutely.
to dj@wmnf.org, so that we can keep this conversation going. I think that you have a really good understanding of all this stuff. I'd like to work with you possibly going forward.
Sounds great. Have a great day, guys.
Awesome.
Take care,
Thanks, Jennifer.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Appreciate it. Jennifer brings up a good point in that, and this really, I think, goes the way that I always try to kind of pitch online, social, whatever it is you're talking about, is treat it like you're throwing a party, right? Like if you're throwing a party and the party's going on, nobody likes the guy at the party that's just bopping around doing nothing but handing out business cards, right?
I hate that.
I hate that guy. Yeah. Nobody likes that guy, right?
I'm the guy by the keg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you bring gifts, give things away, right? Like that's a great party. BYOB parties, like that always raises a flag to me. I want to hear like we have so many kegs we don't know what to do with. So, okay, let's go on to another caller. We have from St. Pete.
Woohoo!
I love St. Pete.
Let's see. We have, is it Kellum or Kellen?
It's Kellen.
Kellen, what's going on, my friend? How we doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
We're good. What's on your mind?
Just trying to reach out. Just started up a business. Emailed you guys here a couple weeks ago, but trying to spill out a little bit more. I do 3D printing and mechanical design and drafting and whatnot. Kind of broad range as far as the capabilities of any items that can be produced. What have you? I've done everything from bar tap handles to decorative cases for whatever.
What's the largest sized object you can 3D print?
As of right now, I can print pretty much an 8-inch cube. I am in the works of actually building a new printer. I kind of Frankensteined an old one, but I plan to make feet by feet, pretty large.
Yeah.
But right now, the largest print that I've accomplished is it was actually a part magazine, houses parts that feeds it through to a machine. And it was probably 10 inches tall or so, but the part itself took, I don't know, on the range of like 24 hours plus.
Why don't you make Gina some stuff for the art district over here? Make a series of pieces of art and put it all into one piece, or a little scale model or something, right?
Design. And implementing it into construction is really an exciting direction.
And that's the cool part too, is that it's for the prototyping area for manufacturing and whatnot. But it's also you make it what you want it, so it can be as artistic as you'd like it to be. And with all the materials and colors out there, it's really interesting stuff. And aside from that too, also on the same printer I have a laser engraver that can touch a number of materials. So any 2D drawing, if you will.
Kellen, we've gotten a handful of calls about 3D printing and stuff, and I think that obviously there's something there, or people wouldn't be doing it, or it's simply like in the exploring stage or whatever. But
definitely,
what industries? Because here's the thing: like, I'm a big believer in. And people get caught up between, working directly with consumers versus working with other businesses. The nice thing about working with other businesses is you build the relationship once, then it's done. Now you're just working back and forth. It's not the constant feeling them all, personalities, all that stuff. What are the industries that need a lot of? Because I'll be honest, I'm not terribly familiar with it, and we probably should have studied up on that a little bit. But
well, I started out in aerospace and kind of bounced around from there. I currently work with a robotics integration and machine builder, and
nice.
I prototype, dozens of parts for them. Anything from a part magazine to a jig fixture that holds something in a precise spot. We're talking thousandths of an inch of accuracy on these things, so you can definitely trust what's coming off the build platform.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Give us a quick shout out before we get to this other caller and where people can get some more information on what it is you got going on.
Definitely. Well, the business name is U by U LLC. You can find me on Facebook, also ubyullc.com. The phone number I can be reached at is 727-346-8370. If I don't answer, obviously, just leave me a voicemail. I'm happy to work with, anybody small to large, one part to dozens of parts, anything's welcome. So
that's awesome, Kellen. Listen, you keep doing stuff like this, you're going to be just fine, okay?
Much appreciated.
Hey, man, you got it. Good definitely.
Luck, brother.
Thanks a lot, my man. Appreciate it. Well, apparently there's something going on in the 3D printing.
Yeah, we got to find out more about things.
The possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go on to another caller. First off, we've got, if you guys have something you want to talk about, you've got an idea, question, whatever it is, we've got Wesley here, online marketing expert. Derby's here, online marketing expert. Gina is an expert in, basically like how to put things together. And she has a ton of connections over in St. Pete. So if you're in the art realm of things, just get with Gina. She can steer you wherever it is you need to go. Me, I'm not really sure what my role is here in this thing, but somebody's got to be the sacrificial lamb, so that'll be me. Let's go to our next caller is Edsil. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, sir, you did.
Oh, man, thank goodness. Awesome. What do you got going on? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I was just interested in getting some information from Jennifer, who was one of your callers earlier. She seemed to be very knowledgeable about the internet, and I'd like to get some more information. And
if you shoot us an email to DJ@wmnf.org, We will get
Okay.
you her. We will get you her
We'll forward that to
information. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you got it, my
Great show,
friend.
by the
Appreciate
way.
it.
Thank you.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
We have a great group of callers and listeners too. Even last time, very educated.
Yeah, no, and I like the Q&A aspect of everything so much more. But that being said, what's everybody got going on? Wesley, what's going on in the world of Wesley these days?
Well, it's e-commerce. And to everyone listening, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, everything is going towards the internet. And you have some people who are fighting it, but it's kind of crazy. Over the last 2 months, if you haven't realized, a lot of big name retailers have gone under.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Wet Seal, Gap is not doing good, Nordstrom's isn't doing good, Macy's isn't doing good. And then JCPenney just announced that they were going to shut down 140 stores. So if that doesn't ring alarm bells,
That's crazy.
then you aren't looking out. And so
Gander Mountain too. Gander Mountain just said we're done.
Yeah. Even online retailers, I mean, people are getting killed by Amazon. And if you have a business or if you want to make something happen, it is imperative that you get educated how to market yourself online. Because if you do not, you will get lost in the shuffle.
I agree 110% with that.
I mean, if you're talking about Amazon, don't even talk to me about Amazon. I got a full garage full of Amazon products, and I'm like, take my stuff. 9,000 deep in product.
They're killing everybody.
Amazon, I mean, I love Amazon, but they are expensive, man. They got 21% in the back end every time we sell a product.
And that's only going to go up.
It's
Amazon's going to get some backlash pretty soon here.
They will.
And just
be like disco.
Exactly. I think that the localization that's going on, where people are valuing local again, I think that will eventually trickle into the online experience as well. But I will say that a big reason, and I'm steering everybody that I work with in this direction, that people buy on Amazon is when you buy it and you know it'll be there in 2 days, time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
People want their stuff yesterday, and that's just how it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. So if you have something going on online and you can make a promise that you're going to get it quicker to them than the other people, that is so valuable to people these days.
Right. I mean, Amazon, you know what they're doing a lot of is they're advertising a lot, but there's a thing that they do is called the retargeting. They cookie your computer and then they follow you around once you look at that product that you want, and they're masters of that. If they're spending a whole bunch of money, they're kicking butt, spending a whole bunch of money for Google, and of course that retargeting is going to kick in. And the more you see a product, I mean, it takes about 7 times before you make a decision to buy that product.
Right.
And when
and then
Amazon
you throw in the
sees
2-day
that,
shipping.
exactly.
I mean,
so it's
that blows
like,
up a lot.
people are definitely kicking up with Amazon, but it is pushing people out of Amazon. The small little business sellers, they're pushing it out, and they're going into their own e-commerce
I will say this, it's not all doom and gloom. You can defeat Amazon. But you need to have personalization. You need to offer people something they can't get at Amazon. So it's not like you have no chance to compete with them.
That's interesting,
but you're going to have to offer something besides price. Because
how about somebody that actually answers the phone?
Yeah, answers the phone.
Customer service, absolutely customer service. And another
you
thing,
can't call Amazon.
Right. And another thing that's happening with all these things with Amazon is pushing the small people to do free plus shipping. That free plus shipping is really coming up a lot now.
Yeah, that can bite you in
watch
the
that
butt.
out for Facebook advertisement, free plus shipping. It's kicking up a whole nother community, of different sellers.
I think that Amazon will, with the exception of a few very core industries in this country, things kind of grow and then fall apart and grow and fall apart, with the exception of a few, and that's another topic that I don't think we want me getting into at this point.
Sometimes you get so big where you kill yourself.
Yeah. Or you can just bribe people to stay alive indefinitely. Let's not go down that road. All right, cool. Next up, another caller back on the track. If you guys are listening out there, this is the Corner Launch. This is a show made for the Tampa area. As far as entrepreneurs go, if you're a small business person, you're an artist, you're an activist, let's hear what you got going on. Do you got questions? That phone number is 813-239-9663. Again, that number is 813-239-9663, or you can email us, dj@wmnf.org.
I mean, Jeremy, even if you're angry, I want to know.
No,
right?
trust me, we're not
Come
going
on.
down that route. We won't
If
be
they're angry
invited.
at
We won't be invited
something-
back. Okay.
If they're angry at something, we want to hear it.
We've been a very,
Come on, let's get real.
I automatically get political the minute I walk in this building, and I've done a very good job of steering clear of that for at
Let's
least
go
this
down
show.
that rabbit hole.
If anybody
You wanna
wants
go.
me on their other show to let loose and like say it's your final show and you don't care if you come back, get me on there.
Come on, I'm from Jersey. You know we get a little angry. You know we have a little bit of an attitude. I mean, we like Dunkin' Donuts, coffee. You know,
know
forget
where
about this.
Yeah, that
Starbucks.
definitely screams
I
attitude,
have
Derby.
no idea.
Do we have another caller on here? Okay, cool. Let's go to Kurt in Lakeland. Kurt, what's going on?
Guys,
Hi.
Hey.
I'm listening to this show, so thank you for putting this out.
Yeah, of course, man.
I work in the medical device industry, and so really where I was thinking about going this year and next was medical marijuana, and looking at dispensary, and what I have seen is that the Department of Health hasn't published any regulations, and apparently they won't until June or July. And then the other thing, I listen to a lot of podcasts while I drive around doing my regular job, and so there is a LA-based delivery courier system, and so I don't know, have you guys heard about anybody else trying to get into that space, or am I just like one of 10,000?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody wants to get into that space, right? But basically why you haven't heard any of the regulations is because they're figuring out and okay, this is not set in stone. And
It's too
you
soon.
know, yeah.
It's too soon.
But they're trying to figure out what these rules are going to look like so that they can say only 6 people or whatever are allowed to really get in at the grassroots level.
Yeah.
And then they just
No
roll
pun
it out.
intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The way they made the laws is, I mean, it passed, but we don't really know how that impacts the consumer. I mean, who can get in it, what the regulations are, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
And so I actually have a client that owns a smoke shop, and she's kind of in limbo
Yeah.
because
Everybody will be able to sell it as long as
Yeah.
they're willing to pay a substantial amount of money and jump through various hoops, basically pay their way in, but only a couple of people are going to be allowed to actually manufacture it.
Yeah.
And when you start manufacturing the products is really when you get the real power in the marketplace, right? And that's really where you see a lot of these things when they come out. They have to make sure that they don't create... Okay, so it's twofold. It's a safety thing for rules and regulations, right? But it's also definitely a protection, barriers to entry, create that because they don't want... The last thing, they don't want a completely controlled marketplace, but they don't want a wide open marketplace either, right? If it's too controlled, they'll fail. If it's wide open, competition will put them out of business. So they got to figure out a way where they can get in there and protect themselves. And,
if you're thinking that Florida is going to become like Colorado and Washington, think again.
Yeah, I don't see that
It's going to be someone
I don't
below
see
that.
But it's interesting because what they have done is they've actually provided a course called Compassionate Care Providers that for doctors to take if they want to write prescriptions for medical marijuana. Now, the interesting part about this, because I was reading that application, and I have a lot of friends who are doctors, but the interesting part is that you're going to have a physician as a medical director, and that the medical director, he cannot write prescriptions to his patients and then direct them to his own dispensary.
Yeah.
So it's like
my advice, Kurt, stay out of it. It's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mess, especially for the first couple of years. It's going to be a mess. You know, I mean, unless you've got substantial amount of money to kind of get in there and try to, go through all the headaches and whatnot. But there's a lot other things you can do with a lot less headaches to, kind of have some fun and do something. So, Kurt, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Next up, we have got a handful of callers on here. Let's go to Charles. Does that work? Is Charles still on there?
That's an email.
Oh, that's an email. Okay, email's from Charles. Let's see if I can see what's going on here. Okay, we've got...
we often talk about, with marketing that you have to market to large groups. And if you really look at it, in my opinion, when I'm marketing and the most successful returns I have is when I really look at the individual and I speak to that individual and connect. And it seems like even when you have a personal representative of whatever you believe in and you create that persona, or you really communicate in an authentic way, you have that, you start to build a real, true relationship with your group. What do you think?
Exactly. So I went to Podfest this past weekend, and we actually touched upon that. Too many times people try to market to large groups. And what they really hit home is that you have got to find people who are passionate about what you're passionate about, who, when you tell them something, it resonates exactly with that group. And that's why I always promote niching things down. You know, taking something from broad to who is your exact audience? Who are people who are just crazy passionate about exactly what you're passionate about?
Yeah.
And that's the people you need
try to be
target.
everything to everyone, you'll be absolutely nothing to all of them.
You'll go broke doing that.
And I have a really fun, this is a little extreme, but I always say if you're not pissing somebody off, you're not going hard enough, right?
True.
So, I
That's
mean,
a very
I
good
don't
point.
know.
You do that so well, too.
I do that really, really good sometimes. All right, let's go to another call. Thank you, Gina. Let's go to another caller. We've got Jan in St. Pete. Jan, how we doing, Jan? What's going on?
I'm absolutely terrific.
Great.
Yes, I'm an artist, and I've been since I was 3 years old, and I've been a psychotherapist, but I now am in I am a realtor.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm also called
You've done everything.
a refreshing realtor, because everyone I work with says that I'm refreshing, and I am, because I'm not just strictly business. I really want to make a difference in people's lives.
Fantastic.
And that's pretty cliche to say, but here's what I'm doing now that I'm focusing on that is different. If a family or a person can't quite qualify for a mortgage, and it's harder and harder now, which is a good thing, actually, if it doesn't collapse again. But someone who, for example, credit tanked because of the recession and they lost their home, and now they're in the process of picking it up, but it's not so great. Or maybe they don't have enough money for a down payment. I work with a group of investors that it's a national organization that instead of buying a bunch of homes inexpensively around the country and then waiting a few years and then selling them, they decided to make a difference in people's lives as well, which is why I embrace that they do. Someone that's looking for a home, I take them around and they look for any home on the multi-list, any home that's for sale. And it's
like a tour.
Yes, but
You know what you should do, Jan?
Let me say the whole thing, though, because it's so different. Other people that say rent to own, that's that particular home that they want to rent out. But it isn't. They can look on the multi-list for any home that's in the top 50% in Pinellas County or Tampa or Hillsborough or anywhere. Top 50% of the high school.
We need a question here because we'd love to
what's
help
your
you. What
what's
I
your
love
question,
about
Jan?
you is that you're so diverse and you're tapped into so many things. And when you're marketing on a creative level, that's very exciting because people think certain industries don't have that creative aspect. So what's your question?
Well, it's actually, how can I let people know about this? They're able to rent a home that they love, not just some home that happens to be for rent. They can look at tons of homes. They pick it and they have 5 years to buy it if they decide to buy it, all during which they can beef up their down payment or beef up their credit rating.
Well, you know what?
Everything in advance, all the figures. I don't know how to tell people about this. Even my telling you was difficult.
Okay, so
Very interesting.
Derby, I have a question. Can you target renters on Facebook?
Well, you could target renters on Facebook, but
very difficult.
It's
Yeah,
really difficult
that's
because
still too broad.
it's such a fast-paced market.
But I think they have an interest that says people who are looking to buy homes.
No, it's likely to move.
Likely to move.
It's likely to move. And if you look
That's
at
gonna be our best bet.
if you look at the data too, though, it'll say like the Tampa area's got like 3 million people.
Yeah,
It'll say like 1.5 million are likely to move. Like I can't imagine how chaotic that would be. So
You'd have to niche that down
I don't
a
know.
little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that advertising, paid advertising on Facebook?
Yeah, Jan, you know what you should do, honestly, Jan? You should start throwing open houses that are also art shows. You should get all of your art, throw it in that house, have an art show / open house. If you get some other artists involved, you can get 5 other people with their houses for sale. Then you create a little tour with your little magic bus. And no, honestly. So you do that, right?
Yeah.
So you do this. Now you've got their
Combine both
attention.
passions.
And now somebody creative loafing, TBT, whatever wants to run a story on you. And that's where you can kind of plug that you have this incredibly creative financing. But unless you get their attention, I mean, what are you? You're just shouting into the wind. So
I mean, for her, I think that the best thing to do is get a YouTube channel and record, and then what you could do is in your area, in the description, in the top description, put the county or the town you're in and what are you doing, so you get some sort of ranking. But remember, what you want to do in your description, you want to put that keyword. Forget about I'm a realtor, I'm the best, and all that stuff. What you got to do is target your keyword. So if you're doing
creative real estate financing, whatever is the most searched,
creative real estate or home loan or loan modification, Tampa. Right, Tampa, with your phone number and your name, so people could start searching you. And of course, you want to duplicate that on the remarks as well, and also your tag.
Jan, I'm going to be really looking forward to these open houses with the art. And honestly, no, listen, you need to get 5 of them in a row and you just go talk to Gina. Gina's got more than enough artists that are looking for interesting ways to get themselves out there. It could really be a cool little thing in St. Pete if you think about it.
Very creative.
Can I give out my number?
Jan, give it out real quick and then we're going to get on to the next one.
727-259-4268.
Perfect. In case anybody's looking to purchase a house in the St. Pete area and they're having a couple of issues, make sure you give Jan a shout. Jan, really appreciate you calling in and good luck with all of that. If that's real estate's a straight up hustle game. If you just work harder than everybody else, you'll be fine.
Thanks.
Good luck, Jan. Make it happen.
Awesome. Thanks, Jan. Do we have, is Dan still on the line? All right. Perfect. Dan the man, what's going on?
Okay. I'm a real artist. I actually do this for a living.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
College. Okay, I work for Disney. I have an extensive resume. I'm classified as a sci-fi 3D surrealist specializing in Trump Lloyd. I produce roughly 30 paintings a year, and it takes me 3 years to produce one.
Wow.
I can't put it on the internet because of copyright laws. I'm giving them up if I post it, even with a watermark. So how do you market it?
You know what? Honestly, and
I have clients waiting up to 12 years for pieces.
I go through this with artists, being that, we're all in marketing. We work with artists. I believe it or not, most people, I used to get a lot of art awards way back in the day. The reality is with that, Dan, is that if you want to market on the internet, you got to put it out there, man. You can't.
It's going to be hard because people are going to take that.
No, but here's the thing: if you don't put it out there, it doesn't matter anyways.
Well, we could put pieces that were out there prior, right? So that you have previous pieces to sell yourself and then connect as an artist, because truly the artist is the artwork. That's what is selling.
That's interesting.
Yes.
The problem is I sculpt my canvas. So it takes me about a year to sculpt the canvas.
Yes.
Then I do a painting over the sculpted canvas of something totally different. So you have to look through the painting to see the sculpture, or look through the sculpture to see the painting. What happens with your eye optically is an image floats in the air in front of you. They're 3D paintings.
Hard to capture in a photograph.
You need, honestly,
they don't produce on the internet very well.
Dan, Dan needs to get with Jan. They need to have a 3D art open house, 5 of
collaboration.
them. Run a press release, get the news out there, get Gina to give you a hand. Okay?
Let me ask you this one question, okay?
Yes.
Real quick, Dan, we got to get the show ended.
All right. When you become famous, you have fans, right?
Right.
You don't get to pick your fans, and if they have psychological problems like kidnapping your children or threatening you because you don't do your artwork the way they want it, how do you market?
Well, Dan, that's just kind of, you got to roll the dice on that one. I can assure you that the majority of them won't go down that road.
One little quick thing, what I would do is the process that you're doing, everything that you're doing, for the artwork, I would do the process and build your list and email to that list.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Some kind of just an art group.
The money's in the list.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Dan, we appreciate it. We gotta bounce, Dan. All right, I really appreciate it, everybody. Gina, give us a shout out real quick.
Woohoo! It was great with you guys.
Wes, what's going on?
Hey, don't fear the internet. Embrace it.
Derby, get us out of here, Derby.
The attitude, let's make it happen. Take some action, baby.
That's right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Again, shoot us an email, dj@wmnf.org. This is Tampa's #1 show for startups, activists, organizers, entrepreneurs. Thank you very much, everybody.